Spirited Away is a Japanese animation movie released in 2001 by the famous animation studio Studio Ghibli and directed by the famous Hayao Miyazaki. It's considered one of the best movies within this genre. The plot begins with the story of Chihiro Ogiho, a 10-year-old girl who, while moving to a new neighborhood, enters the world of kami, spirits of Japanese Shinto folklore. After her parents are turned into pigs by the witch Yubaba, Chihiro takes a job working in Yubaba's bathhouse to find a way to free herself and her parents and return to the human world. And now in this video we are going to do a review of this movie. My team is made up of Irving, Dado, Andrea, and Neto.
Chihiro, a 10-year-old girl, schools in the back seat of her parents' car. The family is on its way to a new home in a new town, and Chihiro doesn't want to move. When her father gets lost taking a shortcut, they discover an entrance to an abandoned theme park. The parents investigate and find a desert stall filled with food. They start eating, and soon they both pigging out. They try to make Chihiro eat, but she has a bad feeling about this, and they refuse the food. Chihiro wants away by herself. While she explores, a boy appears and wants her to leave before dark. She runs back to the stall only to find that her parents have turned into pigs. As night falls, shadowy spirits fill the park, and Chihiro starts becoming transparent. The boy appears again and coaxes her to eat food from the spirit will keep her from disappearing. Then he leads her to a busy bathhouse, negotiating her safely through a panel of spirits who are happy about having a human among them. After getting her safety, he gives her detailed instructions on how to get a job in the spirit world, which he says is the only way to survive. He says his name is Haku, and that he has known her since she was very small. Chihiro first goes to the boiler man, Kamji, for a job. Kamji tells her that the enchanted suit creature provides him with all the help he needs. As they talk, Chihiro rescues one of the suit creatures. A great named Lin arrives and is shocked to discover the human everyone is looking for. Impressed with Chihiro's tenacity and kindness, Kamji lies and tells Lin that Chihiro is his granddaughter. He bribes Lin to take Chihiro to Yubaba, the witch who runs the bathhouse, to ask for a job. Yubaba finally refuses but gives in when Chihiro persists. After Chihiro signs contract for the job, Yubaba steals several of the characters that make up Chihiro's name, renaming her Sen. The next morning, Haku takes Sen to see her pig parents, who no longer remember they were once human. She tries to remember her real name and almost can. Haku warns Sen that he no longer remembers who he used to be, and if she forgets, we will never be able to get home. Returning to the bathhouse, Sen looks back and sees a white dragon in there. She knows the dragon is Haku.
Well, for the conclusion is the movie was kinda crazy. I don't know. I never seen something like that. I only watch one movie like that style, like Japan style, but it was good. I told you like little piece of advice. I don't know what to do with that. You have to finish everything you start. You have to keep going, no matter what is on your way. That was in English class. That it's obstacles and like that. How a little girl can overpass everything, and it can show you like the things that Japanese people think. I don't know, maybe the culture or something like that. But it was a very good movie. I think I will say it again. And yeah,
Spirited Away is a Japanese movie produced by Studio Ghibli in 2001. The movie narrates how Chihiro, the protagonist, and her family ends up in a bathhouse where spirits and gods of all kinds go to relax. Since her parents started to eat some of the food that was meant for the guests, a witch known as Yubaba transformed them into pigs, and Chihiro decides to work in the bathhouse in order to save them from being the next meal. Through the adventure, we will find characters that will help Chihiro. For example, Haku, a mysterious boy who helps her enter the bathhouse, Kamaji, an old man that helps her get the job, and Lin, some sort of moral support for the little girl. The story is just incredible, thinking that a little girl had to work in a bathhouse to save her parents is something that might sound for a more sad and mature movie, but when you add that it has various Japanese spirits and gods animation and some jokes, you have the perfect layout for an Oscar winning movie, which it did in 2002. And the way we see the story evolve is perfect. Everything is related in some way, and some unexpected things happen because we are in a new world with Chihiro, a world where we don't know how things work, and when we see them for the first time, it's just gorgeous and beautiful. This movie has a strong advantage when we are talking about character development. One example is No Face. When we see him for the first time, we have a strange feeling that makes us think, why is he outside? Later on, when he is outside in the rain with Chihiro, and Chihiro lets him in so he won't get all wet, we have this sense of kindness coming from Chihiro and gratitude from No Face. And after some time, we see the true nature of No Face, which is that he was a monster that could create gold and would eat people if he finds them annoying. But the only one he wants to be with is Chihiro, because later on we learn that he was rejected by all, and when Chihiro was kind to him, he wanted to thank her by giving her immense amounts of gold and offering exquisite food, which she rejected, and he feels devastated because she rejected the act, and it ends up in a chase through the whole bathhouse, during which Chihiro manages to make him puke all the workers that he had ate, and after that they share a journey to save Haku. When they arrive to their destination, No Face finds a place to stay where he can be appreciated. This little story inside the movie can make us relate to that character and be more comprehensive, and this mere act makes us realize that in this story there were no good or bad guys, just people with interests and goals. The movie also makes a good job with the setting. During the first minutes, we can see modern civilization in Japan. Then we can see what could be interpreted as an abandoned city, to then find the bathhouse, which is based on the most famous bathhouse of Japan. And let me tell you, I wish I had found photos from the inside of the bathhouse because the outside is almost the same. And most of the time we are in there, but after a while we are transported to a train which seems to travel to a lot of places. And one of them is a little house in the woods where Yubaba's twin sister, Zeniba, lives. And you can feel the difference between them. One is temperamental and strict, while the other was more calm and kind. And by only looking at their places, you can tell that. How an animated movie this is, it couldn't be without the visuals. There are several moments where the animation is just incredible and it looks like they spent months on those sequences because the work is so well done, and that's something that characterizes Studio Ghibli, their animation. Verdict: Spirited Away is an incredible movie which offers a fresh story setting that characters will make you think that you just came out of a dream. That's why we recommend this movie to all the people watching this review.